What's up guys, hope everyone's doing well. Today we're gonna be doing a little bit of an experiment. It's been a little while now that I've been wanting to do a little something to the windshield to make it a little bit more water resistant, a little more hydrophobic, help out the windshield wipers, keep the raindrops off and stuff like that. So it's really common for people to use a product like Rain-X. I think Rain-X is a great product, but I was looking for something that was hopefully gonna be a little bit more permanent, last a little bit longer. So because of that, I picked up this and we're gonna try it out today. This is Adams glass sealant. I like Adams a lot. I use a lot of their detailing products when I'm working on the car. We're gonna try out the sealant on the windshield first. I'm probably gonna do all the windows depending on how it goes on, how it works, how much I like it. But we're gonna start with the windshield and we're gonna set it up in a little bit of experiment, see kind of the before and after, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So I just placed this tape right down the center of the windshield on my E92 here. What we're gonna do is we're going to apply the sealant on first the driver's side and leave this side as is with nothing on it. It obviously has some pollen and shit like that on it right now. But we're going to do the driver's side with the sealant first and do a little comparison afterward of how water, when I pour some water on there, how it sheets off, how much it beads up, and how much the glass is gonna start repelling the water. So I'm gonna start prepping this side of the windshield to put the sealant on. It's gonna first need to be cleaned as much as possible. You obviously don't want anything to be underneath that sealant. It needs to be as clean of a surface as possible. So we're gonna do that now with just a basic glass cleaner, and then I'll talk a little bit about the sealant, how it goes on, how easy it is when I'm playing with it, and we'll see what happens. For this first step, like I said, I'm gonna be using just a basic glass cleaner that you can get at pretty much any store, some paper towels, and we'll clean this off as much as possible. So I now have as much of the pollen and stuff off of this side of the windshield as I could get. It's usually pretty helpful if you do this sort of thing right after you wash the car. I'm not doing that in this case, but that's typically a better way of doing things. Also, when you're washing the car, it can also be pretty helpful to take a clay bar to the windshield, and that makes sure that you take off any sort of thing that might be stuck on there that might not come off with a basic glass cleaner. But in this case, with just a glass cleaner, I think we should be able to do a pretty good job and get a pretty good result. We'll see what happens, and I'll share it with you guys. So now we should be ready to start applying the glass sealant. I have a microfiber applicator here. I'm going to put, it says in the instructions, 5 to 10 drops of the glass sealant on the applicator, and then you go through over your windshield in some sort of pattern, cross hatch it, make sure that you get full coverage across all of the glass, let it set up for a minute or two, and then you're supposed to wipe it off, buff it off with another towel. We'll see how it happens. I'm curious to see how easily it comes off. Sometimes with this sort of thing, like you'll put it on there and then it's hard to get all of it's hard to level it, get all the spots off. So we'll see what happens and see how easily it goes on, see how easily it comes off. And then after that, it only takes a couple minutes. We'll let it seal up, and then it should be ready to go. It should be on the windshield and start repelling the water. So that's it, it's on there now. It looks really good for the most part. I mean, my windshield is pretty beat up from like rock chips and stuff like that. So that, like, there's no fixing that unless we replace the windshield, obviously. When I was putting the product on there, it was really easy to see where I had already covered. If I had missed any spots, it has nice glossiness as you're putting it on there that fades pretty quickly as you continue to move it around. And then when you're buffing it out with the towel, it does come off pretty easily. It's not leaving much film on here. water. I will say, and I don't think you're ever gonna really be able to see this on the camera, but I will say there is like a slight cloudy film on top of it, but overall not bad. It's not really anything that anyone's gonna notice or complain about. All right, so let's see what happens. I got some water bottles in the car. I'm gonna pour some water. I don't have a hose, unfortunately, but I'm gonna pour some water on both sides and we'll see what the difference is. See how much it beads up on this side versus that side. So that's a pretty big difference, actually. I don't know if you guys can see it, but on that side, there's actually still a whole sheet of water up on the glass. On this side, it just instantly beaded up and rolled down. It's still sheeting on that side. Like the whole left side of this section of the windshield is still smooth and it's not beaded up whatsoever. Here, obviously, like as soon as you have a water droplet that's of any size whatsoever, it's coming straight down. That's pretty cool. Here's a little bit of a closer look on this side. This whole section over here, this side of the section of the windshield, had a complete sheet of water on it, and it wasn't beaded up whatsoever. This side over here, the treated side, as soon as you have any droplet of water of any size, it's really coming down, it's really repelling the water, and it's not sticking to it much at all. This is the sort of thing where if you're on the highway and it's raining and you're moving fast enough, because of the speed of the car, these water droplets are gonna hit the windshield and pretty much just fly right over the top. In some cases, it can even be like you don't need to use your windshield wipers because the water's just flying off the top. So it's pretty cool. I'm happy with it. I think that came out really well. I'm glad I did the experiment to see what the difference on the other side was. But yeah, really cool overall. There actually was a treatment done on the windshield. I forget what product I used. It wasn't something like this, but that was probably like 6 to 8 months ago. So there might be still some properties of that left on here on the side that I didn't treat just now. So if you're doing this on a completely raw, untouched windshield, you might see even bigger difference. But that's gonna be it for now, guys. I hope you thought this was helpful. Recommend trying out a product similar to this one, see how it works. This stuff is really cool and it makes driving in the rain a whole lot easier. But again, that's gonna be it for now. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Always doing stuff to my E92 here, so we'll see you next time.